Oh boy, we got our first level up. Let's see. And we're also fatigued. Let's see how many hours it takes. Yeah, of course you could also go and multi-class, but no. And I think I'm just gonna use just the same skills. Use magic device. So with that I could activate wands and scrolls. And it's trained only, so maybe I'll just take 1 point from law nature, put it here so it's at least trained. Another feat. Ah no, not a feat, a bar talent. Just look at this, so much to decide into. Arcane Observer sounds nice with perception plus. Or skill focus. Just gives us more. Another bonus on a skill. Intimidating prowess, not recommended. Add your strength modifier. Yay, -1. Let's take a skill focus on persuasion. So that's our main thing to do. We get to choose another spell. Ear facing scream. Dazed. With everyone near me? No, one. Let's take that one. Alright. So, Paladin. What is it you can do? You have mobility and knowledge world. I think it's kinda automatically doing those. Yeah, cause it's automatically spends all. Yeah. Altering this of value will disable automatic leveling up for this character for the remainder of the game. Are you sure you wish to proceed? No. You know what? We're just gonna do exactly that. Cause then I just have to worry about my character. And I'm just gonna try to see a bit what at least they can do. And another thing is I spend way less time in leveling up. Because I think like one character level up might take like as long as leveling up all characters in the other Let's Plays I did.
I'm all ears.
Right.
I feel like the chosen one.
So I should rest. Let's just look a bit around. Just taking some hides and powders and edible moss, which we can also use for cooking.
Can't make the demons wait.
Who are you? August Worm. Finally, some rum from the surface. I was beginning to lose hope. An elderly man in inexpensive but not ostentatious clothes approaches you. His face is peppered with several healed cuts and bruises and twisted in an expression of extreme discontent. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is August Worm. Yes, that worm. You no doubt have heard of me, if you spent any time at all in the city. I've a business proposition for you. I mean, I think we weren't in Kenabres, but even if we were, Logan would be like, okay, I will mess with you. Your name tells me nothing. Who are you? You truly are freshly arrived in the city then. You couldn't have picked a worse time, that's for certain. Only just arrived and the city's been razed to rubble. You should know that you are looking at one of the richest and most distinguished men in Kenabres. I may not be as well known as certain swaggering loudmouths who spend their lives traipsing from one ball to the other next, but the Worm Tradition Company is one of the pillars of the city. I'll have you know. Did you see the marquees in the square? I paid for those. Tried any festival delicacies? You have Horgus Worm to thank for that. So, how did you end up here? For a moment, Horgus' eyes focus on Camellia before his gaze returns to you. Like everyone else. Dawn, I went when that accursed beetle cleaved the ground in twain beneath our feet. I'm lucky I didn't break my neck in the fall, and I'm doubly lucky that I didn't encounter any subterranean cockroaches on my blind wandering, and instead came across hunters from this settlement. Although I must say that when I first glimpsed their physiognomies, my life flashed before my very eyes. But they turned out to be decent chaps. Frightening to look at, but able to keep the bargain. You don't speak very kindly of the Mongrels, even though they saved your life. Kind words are for people with hours to fritter away on pleasantries. Horgus Worm speaks his mind, and he pays for services rendered not with kind words, but with hard coin. I gave the Mongrels my dagger in exchange for their help. 10 is worth more than their whole village. Do I even want to help you? I don't know. So, what kind of business proposition do you have? I don't know what is happening on the surface right now, but I am determined to find out. You have no interest of seeing out the rest of your days in this village, I suspect. We must find a route back to the surface, to the city, if there's anything left of it. I don't know what good songs will do us in a dark hole like this, but people say that wandering troubadours can find their way out of any situation. I hope those were not just tall tales. Are you insulting my bardic talents? Disintegrate. You're strong, it will be no trouble to you, but I, alas, am not as fit as I once was. I can't go crawling about through caves playing at skulls. My proposition is simple. Lead me back to the city and I shall pay you 1,000 gold coins. I suggest we help this man. It is good to have friends among the Kenabres elite. You know, he's such an ass to all the Mongrels. Sounds like an idea, but 2,000 gold. August gaze is piercing. Are you taking advantage of my dire circumstances? Very well. Make it 2,000. I don't think he has the money with him. Money first. I would gladly pay in advance, but all my wealth is upon the surface. Fear not, the word of a Gwyrm is worth more than platinum. Ask anyone, Horgus Gwyrm has never reneged on a deal. Also, people talking in third person about themselves don't get sympathy points. Alright, deal. Splendid. In the meantime, I shall sit here in the village. Alright, so, we'll see you. Go on, go on. Don't forget our agreement. When you find the way out, be sure to tell me. Gwyrm family secrets. What a nice man. Do you say anything? No, it's the same as...
Beautiful.
Same line. I don't even want to know what's happening up there. Has the maze really collapsed?
Let's see what we can
Nothing
do.
to feed you. Go to one of the other tribes. Enivia. This tragedy may not have happened if you'd spent less time surveilling honest citizens and more time tracking the real spies and demon worshippers. Brilliant idea! How come I didn't think of it? Now, if only the cultists would tell us they were cultists. Then we wouldn't have to waste time investigating honest citizens who decide to go all cloak and dagger right under our nose. August and Anivia sit some distance apart, sniping at each other in an idle fashion that testifies to their long acquaintance and mutual dislike. When they notice you, they quickly fall silent. What's the blood between you two about? It's an old matter. Miss Tyribet here had the notion of spying on me, then of rummaging through my goods. I ask you, do I look like a cultist? Cultists don't tend to look like cultists, you know. That's kind of the whole problem. And you, Mr. Gorham, but the whole secret operation of buying and smuggling into the city. What was it? Oh yeah, magical weapons. How was I supposed to know that all the rigmarole with middlemen was so you could anonymously donate supplies to the crusade? Don't you see, I have a reputation to uphold, one that I value most highly. August Gorham is a hard-nosed businessman, not a good fairy from a tale. Yes, I care about my city. Yes, I wish to see that its defenders, my defenders, were well-fed, healthy and well-armed. But to make those donations openly was unthinkable. I might as well hang a sign outside my door welcoming in every sponger, leech and parasite in the city. I appreciate your help for the crusade. No jokes, you're an alright bloke. But carrying on a secret dealings in a city that's teeming with cultists is a huge pain in the backside for a slot whose job it is to keep an eye on that sort of thing. So, Anivia, how's the leg? Anivia scrunches up her nose. Well, it hasn't fallen off yet, so that's good. They've bandaged me up all nice and smeared some stinging stuff on the wound, so it makes like I'm gonna live. They said, wait a day and I'll be right as rain, so I'm waiting. What do you think is happening in the city right now? Perhaps the city's no more. If Deskari himself appeared, there's no telling how bad things are. Can you hold off on writing our obituaries just yet? The city's full of fighters. And besides that, it's barely a stone throw from Nerosium. I think our people will hold on long enough for reinforcement to come from the Queen. They ain't Deskari's home turf. He's gonna have to retreat or else fight off the whole Medivian army. Nerosian. The capital of the Crusader state of Mendef, Nerosian is designed first and foremost as a defensive fortification to hold back the endless demonic hordes of the Worldwound. Nerosian is also a holy city of Iomedae. Many of its notable residents are devout worshippers of Iomedae, including Queen Galfrey, the ruler of Mendef. The cruciform cathedral to Iomedae is central to both Nerosian physical structure and the defense of the city. The cathedral also draws faithful pilgrims from afar to worship all at this renowned holy site. So Anivia, what exactly do you think of the Mongrels? Thanks for your answer. I thought they were just a story, the sort of thing of drunks in the taverns would come up with. Now I discover that it's true. Well, what can I possibly think of them? The poor creatures are most unfortunate, with their faces and their minds so deformed. It's a miracle they're even alive. I hate you. The part that boggles my mind is that they are the descendants of the first Crusaders. All these years they've been living beneath our feet, in caves in the dirt. If I'd known the legends about them were true, I had dedicated my life getting them out of this place. I like her way more. To what end? The people of Kenabres would have stoned them on sight, and Prelate Hurun would have had them tossed on the pyre en masse. Whatever the ills of this place, it is their home. How long do you think they would have survived on the surface? Hurun Shapok. Kenabres famed prelate Hurun Shapok first gained the trust and admiration of city's people by organizing inquisitions against suspected demon worshippers and witches. Hurun and his force of elite witch hunters exposed dozens of cultists and spies, and, it is said, executed many more under suspicion with no real proof. Great. We're lucky he didn't kill us on sight. These events started the Third Crusade, widely accepted as the least effective and most self-destructive of the 4 Crusades. Still, Harun evoked respect and admiration in the populace, as well as fear, and agreed to guard the city as his prelate. Of course, he looked human. Seems like the Crusade are not that far apart, at least the 3rd and the 4th, I guess. So, what are you gonna do when you get back to the surface? I'm going to go home. At least I know I owned a very fine mansion. I shall see if it's still standing or if I'm now homeless. I'm going to find Erebeth. She's my wife and the leader of the Eagle Watch. As long as she lives, she won't allow Kenabres to fall. Ah, it's cute. Go on then, and don't dilly-dally. The sooner we get out of here, the likelier we are to find some people still alive up there. Take care of yourself.
Here we go.
Who are you? Avanda Dyra. You there! A tall woman with a face deformed by an enormous swelling smiles broadly at you, showing off her double row of small, sharp teeth. You, from the surface! You must be tough to make it all the way here. Never thought I'd see the day. Call me Dyra. Let's trade. Who exactly are you? The people around here call me all sorts. Dyra the Hoarder, Dyra the Coin, Dyra the City Girl. Like, that's a bad thing. I show the case picking up all kinds of things from the surface that wash down here through our sewers. I trade all kinds of junk for food and clothes, but I only part with my best finds for coins. Got no coins? Forgot what money is. Well, then I have no use for you. If you want city goods, you need to pay for them with gold, like city folk. Why are you so eager to trade with me? Because all people here are no better than animals now. Dara yells with surprising anger before being overcome with coughing. Wiping her mouth, she continues. Our forefathers lived in the city, like you. Our people laughed reminiscence about armies, knights, crusades. But I couldn't care less about that. Savages with clubs can fight a war. Only civilized folk can buy and sell. They've all forgotten what trading is. They've forgotten the value of gold. They barter hides for plant roots, and I go on about the feats of the Crusaders. Who cares about them? I don't need help remembering. I have coins and I have things to sell. Now, let's trade like proper city folk. Let's trade. So, what do you have? Don't I have any? Can I see how much money I got? Am I overlooking something? Ah, I have to press on the share stuff to see my money. You know, would be practical to see it every time. Ah, is that selling everything we don't need? That's nice. 78, so... let's just have a look. What I like is that you can see what you can use. So... I want an armor for you. Chain shirt. I don't think we need lots of things, at least currently. Yeah, this also doesn't stack. Nah, let's trade later. We sold stuff. That has to be enough for the time being. Rest. Where to rest? Ah. There. There to rest.
I can handle it.
Let's go stealing. Why is there a sack with fairy mushrooms and a bloodshot eye? Is this another entrance? Or exit? I can't even go there. What are you protecting.
Can't make the demons wait.
Yeah, I think going to sleep sounds like a good thing. I'm tired too. The mission returned. The tribes are gathering at the entrance to the maze. Our people have already gone there. I've warned Anivia on that old guy who won't even acknowledge me. Take your time, there's no rush. The most important people always show up late. Lan looks around. Everything's going to plan, but one thing's bothering me. Wenwalk's gone. You told the truth to the Mongrel tribe and revealed the lights of heaven despite Wenwalk's attempt to persuade you otherwise. Ah, that's cool. That shows you like what you did for it to give that outcome. All the tribes, so a whole army is marching on the maze then. By Mongrel standards, yes, but don't be too disappointed when you see the reality. There aren't many of us who can hold weapons, and fewer still who can do any damage with one. What do you think might happen to Wenwalk? Lan shakes his head. I don't know. She was always stubborn. Maybe she decided she could do it all on her own. I hope she comes back. We struggle without her, and she'll struggle without us, no matter how hard she try to deny it. What about Anivia and Horgus? Are we just going to leave them here? Once we've cleared the maze, the way ahead will be safe. Anivia's in no state to fight, and that Horgus guy, he doesn't look like he'll shift an inch unless we roll out a red carpet all the way to the exit. I would agree. Alright. Oh, 5 is really evil. Alright, let's go. There's no time to lose, I guess. Let's go, but before we do, thank you. I was so happy, I forgot to thank you before, but you've done something no one else has in a long time. You've given the Mongrels hope. It's like we're starting to believe that we are worth something, now that we have the power of angels on our side. Lan's face grows sullen. It won't change anything, of course, but at least you'll help us save the young ones, hopefully. Let's go through the main gate. The straight road is the shortest. So, there? Ah.
Beautiful.
Now there's an exit, which magically appeared after resting. I can clearly see there's no exit. Okay.